Emergency lighting circuits are required to be dedicated according to the National Electrical Code. This means that emergency lighting must be on its own separate circuit, and you cannot tie it into it to power other devices, such as a Class 2 transformer for a panic alarm. The purpose of this requirement is to ensure the reliability of the emergency lighting system during a power outage or other emergency situation. If the emergency lighting circuit were also powering other equipment, there would be a risk that the other equipment could draw too much power and cause the emergency lighting to fail. Here's a breakdown of why dedicated circuits are crucial for emergency lighting. Firstly, dedicated circuits minimize the risk of overloading. Emergency lighting systems are designed to operate reliably during critical situations such as power outages caused by fires, natural disasters, or equipment failures. Overloading a circuit can cause the circuit breaker to trip, shutting off power to all devices on that circuit, including the emergency lights. A dedicated circuit ensures that the emergency lights receive the necessary power without being affected by the power demands of other equipment. Secondly, dedicated circuits reduce the potential for interference. Sharing a circuit with other devices can introduce electrical noise or interference that could affect the performance of the emergency lighting system. This is particularly important for systems that rely on electronic components or sensors. A dedicated circuit isolates the emergency lighting system from these potential sources of interference, ensuring that it operates as intended. Thirdly, dedicated circuits simplify troubleshooting and maintenance. When the emergency lighting system is on a dedicated circuit, it is easier to identify and resolve any problems that may arise. This is because you can isolate the emergency lighting system from other devices and focus on troubleshooting the specific components of that system. Furthermore, dedicated circuits prevent nuisance tripping. Other equipment on the same circuit could cause a momentary surge in power demand, triggering the circuit breaker and turning off the emergency lights unnecessarily. A dedicated circuit isolates the emergency lighting from these fluctuations. The National Electrical Code Section 700.12 addresses the power sources for emergency systems and emphasizes their independence and reliability. The NEC outlines specific requirements for emergency systems, including the types of acceptable power sources, the need for automatic transfer switches, and the separation of emergency circuits from normal power circuits. This separation is crucial to ensure that the emergency lighting system will function even if the normal power supply is interrupted. The code requires that the emergency power source be capable of supplying power to the emergency loads for a specified duration, typically 90 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the application. Here are some additional considerations regarding emergency lighting circuits. The wiring for emergency lighting circuits must be kept separate from the wiring for normal power circuits. This helps to prevent accidental connections or shorts that could compromise the emergency lighting system. Emergency lighting fixtures and equipment must be clearly labeled and identified. This makes it easy for building occupants and emergency responders to locate the emergency lights during an emergency. Regular testing and maintenance of the emergency lighting system are essential to ensure that it is functioning properly. This includes checking the batteries in the emergency lighting fixtures, testing the automatic transfer switch, and verifying that the emergency lights are providing adequate illumination. Here's an analogy. Imagine a hospital's life support system. It needs a dedicated power source to ensure it functions flawlessly during a power outage. You wouldn't plug a coffee maker into the same outlet, would you? Emergency lighting is similar. It's a life safety system that needs its own reliable power source. Now let's delve into the specific requirements outlined in the NEC regarding emergency lighting circuits. The NEC mandates that emergency lighting systems be designed and installed to provide illumination automatically in the event of a power failure. This means that the emergency lights must come on within a specified time frame, typically within 10 seconds of the power outage. The code also requires that the emergency lights provide a minimum level of illumination in designated areas such as exit routes, stairwells, and assembly areas. This illumination level must be sufficient to allow building occupants to safely evacuate the building during an emergency. The NEC provides detailed guidelines on the selection and installation of emergency lighting fixtures. The code specifies the types of fixtures that are suitable for use in emergency lighting systems, as well as the minimum mounting heights and spacing requirements. The NEC also addresses the requirements for battery backup systems, which are commonly used to provide power to emergency lights during a power outage. The code specifies the capacity and performance requirements for these batteries, as well as the testing and maintenance procedures that must be followed. In addition to the NEC, other codes and standards may also apply to emergency lighting systems, depending on the location and type of building. These codes and standards may include the International Building Code, the International Fire Code, and the local building codes. It is important to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or contractor to ensure that the emergency lighting system complies with all applicable codes and standards. The Class 2 transformer you mentioned is typically used for low-voltage applications, and connecting it to an emergency lighting circuit is a code violation due to the dedicated circuit requirements. The emergency lighting system's integrity must be maintained to ensure it operates correctly when needed most. In the event of an emergency, the reliability of the emergency lighting system can be a matter of life and death. Let's discuss some common scenarios where dedicated emergency lighting circuits are essential. Firstly, consider a high-rise building. During a fire, the normal power supply may be interrupted, leaving occupants in the dark. Emergency lighting provides the necessary illumination to guide people safely to the exits. Secondly, think of a hospital operating room. If the power goes out during surgery, emergency lighting ensures that the medical team can continue working without interruption. Thirdly, imagine a crowded theater. A sudden power outage could cause panic and confusion. Emergency lighting helps to maintain order and allows people to evacuate calmly. Fourthly, picture a manufacturing plant. A power failure could create hazardous conditions. Emergency lighting provides the visibility needed for workers to shut down equipment safely and evacuate the premises. Fifthly, consider a school. During a power outage, emergency lighting helps students and staff navigate the building safely and avoid accidents. Sixthly, imagine a shopping mall. A power failure could lead to looting and vandalism. Emergency lighting deters criminal activity and helps security personnel maintain control. Now, let's examine some potential consequences of violating the dedicated circuit requirement for emergency lighting. Firstly, failure to comply with the NEC can result in fines and penalties. Electrical inspectors have the authority to issue citations for code violations and require corrective action. Secondly, a non-compliant emergency lighting system could create a safety hazard. If the emergency lights fail to function properly during an emergency, building occupants could be injured or killed. Thirdly, insurance companies may deny claims if a fire or other incident is caused by a code violation. Building owners have a responsibility to ensure that their properties are safe and compliant with all applicable codes and standards. Fourthly, a non-compliant emergency lighting system could damage a building's reputation. Customers and clients may be hesitant to do business with a company that is known for safety violations. Therefore, it is essential to prioritize safety and adhere to the NEC guidelines when installing and maintaining emergency lighting systems. Always consult with a licensed electrician to ensure compliance with local and national codes. Remember, the purpose of emergency lighting is to protect lives and property during critical situations. By understanding and following the code requirements, you can help to ensure that your emergency lighting system will function reliably when it is needed most. This dedicated circuit requirement is not just a suggestion. It's a critical safety regulation designed to protect lives. Violating this code can have serious consequences, including fines, liability, and most importantly, putting people at risk.